I'm Clement Townsend. I teach digital media in Chicago. For the past several years, I've worked with students to create video versions of the assignments they were doing in their core subjects. The purpose of this video is to show how middle school students can develop their creativity, communication, collaboration, critical thinking skills, and technology skills through video assignments in core subjects. It's an exciting and immersive way for students to show what they know. I've worked with students who didn't know how to copy and paste or download images or videos and other technology basics. I want students to be able to learn technology skills integrated with their core subjects.
This video is on dividing fractions by fractions.
After the example video for students, I'll give step-by-step instructions on how students can create their own video using Canva. I would love to get your feedback. Let me know, does this type of assignment interest you for your students? Comment below and let me know what you think. Let's get started.
So let's get started creating your math video. Once you have signed up with Canva, your home screen should look something like this. And so they have video here, but we're actually going to scroll over just a little bit, and then we're going to look for education video. And we should look for not education presentation, but actually it was already here in the beginning. So we're just looking for educational video, and we're going to click that. Then once we get to the next screen, this is where we're going to actually start to create our video. So the important thing to take note of is the search bar at the top where it already has educational video. Here on the right side is where we will watch our video. And the bottom, this is called like the timeline. That's where we will place our clips to create our video. So let's get started with a title page. We want to put your name on the title page just like you would on a regular assignment. So I just typed in math in the search bar. I typed in math in the search bar and a lot of different videos come up. And once you find what you like, say for instance, if you like this math class, you just want to drag it onto what I call the timeline. So just drag it into the plus sign, and that is the first part of your video. So welcome to math class. You can use space bar to play it or the play button here. There's also a play button up at the top. So to change the elements, so we're going to get started with doing some text elements. So you just click on it one time. And so it says math class here. And so we might do dividing fractions by fractions. You would just simply type that in the box, dividing fractions by fractions. Now, if you notice, that's a little bit too big. So certainly you can just highlight everything. And here's how you change your text size. You click up here, change text size. I'll go to like 88. This if you want to change your font style. And then also if you wanted to text color. So if you didn't like that color and wanted to make it another color. So dividing fractions by fractions, I'll leave that part there. And then I want to click on this other box. I want to delete that. We don't need it. And then certainly it's always great to have your name. So how to move elements around, two things pop up. There's a couple of circles that allow you to kind of like rotate it, or a couple of arrows. You can rotate things pretty easily. We might need that a little bit later on when we do arrows. And then also there's this 4 arrows, and that allows you to move it wherever you need it. So we want to move this up just a little bit, dividing fractions by fractions, put in your name, John Doe. Then it's always good to put what period you're in, seventh period. So that is your title slide. And then you've also done some text. And then what we want to do easily, we want to just duplicate that. So at the bottom on my timeline, 3 dots pop up. It gives me a couple of different options, and I want to duplicate my page. That is what we want to do, to duplicate the page, and that is how you get started. Let's continue with adding some text. So we don't need dividing fractions by fractions anymore. You can just click on the box and you can just press delete. That should pop up for the trash can. And actually, we could use this same John Doe because we want to put solve here. I just moved it up as I showed you before, put my tab in here, and instead of John Doe, we just want to solve. And say, for instance, if you wanted to make this bigger, you could also highlight it. Again, we increase the font size, drop down. Let's say you want this to be 62 or so. 64, that will work. So now we want to actually add our problem. So on the left side, instead of elements, we just want text. We're going to click on text, and it gives you a couple of default text styles, and just say we add a subheading. That pops up, add a subheading. We just want to move that to the side. So if it grabs something else, click off of that. We want to actually be on subheading, move that to the side. And we're going to put in our problem, which is 5/8 divided by 1/4. So we have 5 here, 5/8. So again, for text, I'm going to click in here and I actually want line. So I want to click in here and I actually want line. Excuse me. We don't want text. We want elements for that. We want elements. So search elements and then I can do graphics. That pops up and then it actually has line right there. And that's what we're going to use for 5/8 divided by. So I just click that one time. It pops up. When I grab the sides, it shrinks it for me. So when I grab the sides, it shrinks it for me. Make this a little bit small, and then we're going to move this right under. And then actually, I'm going to be able to duplicate all of this. So my 5, I can duplicate that. It gives me another 5. I just move that down, and we want 5/8. My line, I can duplicate that and give me another line, and just make sure you grab the one you need, and we can move this over here. So this could be our 1/4. So again, I'm just duplicating. That's all I'm doing. I'm just duplicating. So you don't necessarily have to type everything all over again. So we're making our 5/8 divided by 1/4. Again, I'm just clicking on my box until it pops up and allows me to duplicate. And I'm dragging this below. And so now we're just going to do the 1/4. 4, 1/4. So now we have 5/8 divided by, we just need our divided by. So again, elements here. So instead of line, I'm going to do division. We're typing in graphics. We're typing in division. And either one of these that pops up, this one looks good there. And then again, I'm going to grab the sides to make it smaller. And then I'm going to put this right in between. And everything does look like it's kind of close. So I should be able to move everything over to the side to give it a little bit more space. So I can move my 5 over. I can move my line over, move my 8 over, move this to give it a little bit more space. Maybe shrink that. And there you have it. 5/8 divided by 1/4. Maybe we want to move our solve over just a little bit. And so now once we have this, we can just duplicate it and continue on. So just like we did before, down at the bottom, I'm going to duplicate my page, and then we're going to actually go through the steps. You already know how to search for elements. You already know how to do text. So let's just go ahead and show you the next steps so you can be the teacher and you can solve your problem to help your peers. So easy. So here, instead of solve, is just step 1. And then you should know how to search for elements. And we would like to find an arrow. We'll just type in arrow in the search bar under elements. And you can pick any arrow. photos, graphics. Just say you wanted a golden arrow, if that's what you wanted, for instance. Again, I can pull the sides in, and then I can just get my 4 arrows to move it down. You want to make sure that you're on your actual arrow. And then I can always grab it from the side as well. You can always just grab it that way. And then we want to point here. I want to make it a little bit shorter. And again, we can always put it to the side. And then I just want to do text. Remember, on the side, click on text, add a subheading, and then we'll just type in keep the same. Easy. And then the steps, you just continue on with the same steps. I would duplicate this and then continue on. Step 2, it will be change. So I actually deleted that. So the undo button is my friend. And instead of keep the same, we want change. Simple and easy. Just move this over. Move your arrow over. We've shown you how to use these arrows. Make it straight up and down. Easy. And then I would just duplicate this. Simple duplication. And then instead of the division, we would just do multiplication. So where do we go? Elements, search it, don't want arrow, multiplication. And graphics, see all, a lot of different multiplication ones to choose from. Pick the one that you feel is the best for you. Use your creativity. I'll just click on the first one time, and then again, we can just make it smaller. Just continue on with the steps as you would. So once you have that change, then I would just duplicate it again and move on to the next step. Step 3, we know that is flip. So I just move my box over. Super easy to do. Move my arrow over. That's that. And then I would duplicate it because I just need to flip it. So here, instead of 1/4, we flip it 4/1. And then at the end of the day, we just want to duplicate and we want to solve our problem. Duplicate my page. We don't necessarily need an arrow for this, so you can actually delete the arrow. I still want to, instead of flip, I still want to have solve here. You want to make it bigger. We've shown you how to do your text. We can delete this arrow. It would be nice, elements, to have an equal sign. Pick the one that works for you. Click it one time, make it smaller, and make sure you actually solve the problem. So what does it actually equal? When you solve the problem, again, you could duplicate these numbers here and drag it down. Duplicate your line and drag it down. And then duplicate this number, or you could duplicate however you like and drag it down. And just solve. Make sure whatever problem you do, we actually see the answer. So step 4 is solve. You should be doing that on your problem. And then again, we just want to duplicate this. And then we want to make sure that we do step 5 is to simplify. And make sure you actually simplify 20/8. So I will move all of this over. I could actually move the plus sign over as well. And then just make sure that you actually simplify. 20/8, what does that equal when you actually simplify? So you can put the rest here. Be sure that you don't just put the number, but what is the simplified fraction? And then at the end, I would just do a slide that's just showing what we learned. So I would just duplicate my title slide. What is the process? And then I would just drag that over to the end. So I could just delete all this and it would just be a keep, change, flip. Keep. And so you might want to make this a little bit bigger. Maybe say 80. Maybe you want to change the colors. That's up to you as well. But these are all things that you should know how to do with text. All this part is the easy part. Keep, change, flip. So we can go here. We can duplicate, page. We can move this down. Be mindful. Maybe you want to change the colors. Change. Maybe you do a red here. Duplicate page. And then the last part is going to be flip. It's going to move this down to the bottom and then flip. And that should be pretty much the end. If you want to do music, certainly music is an option. Music should always be done at the end once you've checked it. Elements. And once I type in this box, down at the bottom, it should go to audio. Elements, type in the box, it should go to audio. Say if I want to do something laid back. On the left side is how you preview it. And then on the right side is how you add it to your actual video. You just click it on the right side. There's one specific one that I'm looking for. Here it is. So I don't need to preview it. I need to move my cursor to the beginning. Make sure you add your cursor to the beginning. Because where your cursor is, that's where actually you're going to see your video. So I'll add my music. And then this is what I want. And then be sure that you preview your video before you send to your teacher. The last part is just the share button. You copy a link, view only link, download, and there should be a send to your teacher button. Be sure you watch it. Be sure everything looks professional, and you should have a video where you solved a problem helping your peer that you are proud of.
I know you are a creative, innovative teacher who wants to revolutionize learning for your students. Book a free 30-minute call with me and let's virtually create a video for your classroom assignment together. Click the link in the description to schedule your call. I can't wait to chat with you.